Welcome to We Love That For You, a wedding podcast with personality, perspective, and plenty of heart. We are Chris and Jackie from Limelight Entertainment, and we're here to help you plan your best day ever without the stress. Welcome to another episode of We Love That For You. In episode 4, we talked about the stigma around one-stop shop wedding companies and why that stigma exists in the first place. We broke down how a lot of companies lead with one strong service and then add others without the same level of intention or quality, which is where the negativity around the one-stop shop in the wedding industry comes from. Definitely give that episode a listen because it'll catch you up for today's episode where we want to take this a step further because not all multi-service companies are built the same. What we've built here at Limelight didn't start as a one-stop shop. It actually started as two completely separate businesses with two completely different focuses that eventually came together. And that merge is really what shaped everything we do today. So in this episode, we're breaking down what actually makes us different and why our approach works and what it really means when we say one team, one vision. So if we take it back to the early days, we didn't start by trying to offer everything. Chris, you want to tell us a little story or tell our viewers a story about the early days and what our intentions were when we started Limelight?
Definitely. So, taking it back to the early days, the reason why the company is called Limelight Entertainment is because we had one thing in mind.
Yeah.
It was entertainment.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about offering photography or videography. I just wanted to create, I just wanted to be able to provide an outstanding entertainment experience for couples getting married. And that was my main goal. I didn't really care about offering other services or doing other things. I just wanted to perfect this one service. And that's what I did. And that's what I focused on in the beginning.
Yeah. And at the time I was doing photography, but I wasn't really doing it full time. It wasn't like a full-time career. Definitely on the side, but I, worked on building that end of my skill set for photography before we even thought about bringing it into Limelight.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I was doing events for how long before we decided
We would put it together.
we would put this together. I mean, how
I think about 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it was
right?
about 2 or 3 years. Because I was actually mentored by our wedding photographer.
Yeah.
I assisted her for a few years and, did it the right way. I didn't jump in and be like, oh, I have a camera. I can shoot weddings. Let's go. So
Yeah.
I really wanted to learn how to do it right. So I assisted and I grew into, second photography. And then I grew into taking them on myself. So it was a well thought out process for myself as well. I mean, I had a camera. I was following you to all of your entertainment jobs and taking, our content and our media that way. But I never thought about diving into photographing a wedding until I felt like I had built my skill set properly for a wedding.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about it either.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even on my mind, to be honest with you. So yeah, it took me those couple of years to perfect exactly, what I wanted to bring to the table in the wedding industry.
Right.
And then, after I had kind of had the idea of where I wanted to go and the service I wanted to put out there, I saw that, your skill set and your drive and everything that you were doing with your photography was, was just great, and I was like, well, we're providing this great entertainment service. And Jackie is just absolutely crushing it with photography, like on her end when, in a hobby setting and in a learning setting, right? Well, why don't we take these two and kind of merge them together?
Mm-hmm.
This way we can provide, an outstanding entertainment service and an outstanding photography service. It's not like we're just kind of like putting these services together just to offer them.
And I think that we merged also because we just preferred to work together. I think that merge meant that you had that trust on a wedding day when working with another wedding vendor, and that you kind of knew that everyone had that same goal in mind, which was, to perfect the experience for the couple. And, you had been entertaining or doing, being a wedding DJ for quite some years before we decided to work together. So you had kind of experienced a lot of different photography companies, a lot of different wedding vendors. And then also on my end, I don't always go out with I wasn't always going out with you. I wasn't always I didn't always have the pleasure of you being my wedding DJ when I went out. And so when we came together and merged, it was it kind of satisfied both sides, where if like we're working together, you're working with a Limelight vendor, it's like a full team, photo, DJ, and video, that all the vendors are working together with one collective goal, one collective vision in mind, and that is to have an amazing night for the couple. So I think working together, the merge came so that we could work together more and just make an exceptional experience for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And just from like a customer service standpoint, like I knew what my standards were
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
came to entertainment, and they're pretty high. And I know what your standards
Yeah.
are when it comes to photography, and they're really high.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is going to make a great combination,
Yeah.
because I know that we are going to have some really, really happy clients because of the standards that we go by.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. My standards are exceptionally high for myself, for my team.
And rightfully so.
And they should be. This is a very important day for a couple. So I would assume their standards are very high as well. So before we go out, we want to make sure that we're treating every wedding as if it was our own. So
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Every single event is, we treat every single event like it's our own.
Yeah. So we realized, let's bring these teams together, create a full team of alignment and the same vision. And that's really what we did. So, what does one team, one vision actually mean? And that kind of goes back to what you just said, which is shared standards across, every service, shared expectations. Our DJs understand photo timing. Our photo and video team understands DJ reception energy, and then everyone is on the same page without being told. So that's really what our goals were when we decided to bring the team together, create the same vision, create alignment amongst everyone on the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do we do differently behind the scenes? What would you say are a few things that are what we focus on to make sure that we are different than the one-stop shop?
Well, number one, we invest a lot in training.
Yeah.
Right.
We do.
So we have a pretty great training program here at Limelight that brings everyone up to speed and everyone, up to the standards that we need them.
Yeah.
I know also that you host workshops and team critiques.
Yeah.
As well, which are really, really great.
Mhm.
Making sure that there's consistency across the board with all of your photography.
Yeah, I'm big on feedback and critiquing, also letting photographers on our team know what we're looking for, how to photograph in the Limelight style. I love to give them some of my knowledge, and so we do focus a lot on the training aspect. We care deeply about consistency as well. So one thing I want to make sure of is when a couple comes to check out my portfolio versus some of our other team members' portfolios, that they say to themselves, "Oh, it looks like across the board, there's so much consistency here. I know exactly what to expect when I get my wedding photos back."
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about what we do differently behind the scenes, right? A company as a whole. But why does this matter?
Yeah, why would this matter for a couple?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think this matters for our wedding couples, because at the end of the day, everyone benefits from a unified team. Everyone benefits from a vendor team that works well together, communicates well together. Your DJ team understands that they need to be either in a certain location or out of a certain location, so they're not in a couple's first dance photos or speeches, portraits, or whatnot. A photography team needs to understand that they can't just pull a wedding couple off the dance floor at high energy and take them out for night shots and not let the DJ know ahead of time. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
there's just a lot of things that go on when it comes to a wedding vendor team that works well together.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it brings a lot to the table as long as it's done right, right? So as long as there's good communication, and everyone shares the same timeline, right? So that's one thing that we do, right? We're all communicating prior to events. We all give each other feedback post event. This way we can better ourselves for the next time, right? So, for example, just to give you a short example, our DJ team knows to be out of the way and how to get out of the way when you're shooting a first dance. This way, our DJs aren't in the background of the couple's first dance photos.
Right.
Your photography team knows the perfect opportunity to take couples outside for sunset shots where it's not going to interrupt the flow of like their dance set or any of the formalities that are happening during the event, right? Because I've been in situations where we've got, we're about to go into a dance set and the energy's high and the place is rocking. And then all of a sudden the photographer, I'm like ready to play one of the couple's like song requests.
Preferred songs.
Yeah, preferred songs. And all of a sudden, like the photographer is taking the couple outside for a sunset shot. And it's like, well, man, I just got this going. Like the energy's high in here.
Yeah.
But the good thing about, the kind of dream team working together is like, I know your timeline. I know when you're taking couples out for night shots. And like my timeline of when I want to open up the dance floor to ensure that everything flows really well, at the event itself. So there's great benefits to, working with a quote unquote dream team, one company that offers all services. When there is that communication there.
Yeah. It's great working with your own team because that everyone is on board for the couple. The communication is high. That everyone has the same end goal in mind. And it's really nice to know. I feel like other wedding vendors that work with us say the same thing, like when they're with us, when it comes to like the venues and things like that. It's like, oh, Limelight's here. We know we're going to have a really good night.
Yeah. On our end, everyone's goal is the same, right?
Yeah.
This is all about the couple. And we treat this event as if it's our own, right?
Exactly.
So we want the outcome to be absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
And we are ready to help each other out in order to, bring that experience to the couple, like our video team. I'm ready with a line out. This way they get the cleanest audio possible for their videography.
You almost anticipate that vendor's next step. You're
I
know what our video team needs.
I know what our video team needs in order to produce the best product, from my end. And that's clean audio, what our video team needs when it comes to posing, right? Because the photographer is always the one that's kind of like in charge of the couple posing, right?
For the most part.
So, to keep motion in mind when you're photographing couples, because with videography, you need motion for that, right? So you're posing the couple with motion in mind, which allows their day to run smoother because now they don't have to redo that moment so that video could capture it as well, right? So we just, we could go on and on
Yeah.
about
And
how,
honestly, these are the benefits for us as a team for working with our own team. But also there's some benefits for the couple. There's more benefits for the couple as well, where like they don't have to manage their vendors.
yeah,
Like tying back to what you just said, your video, you know what video needs audio wise,
Yeah.
a line in, and these things don't have to be micromanaged by anyone else.
yeah, because let's say I'm working a wedding, an event where our video team isn't on it or our photography team isn't on it, right? So now I'm getting, emails and all kinds of communication from the couple like, "Oh, this is our photographer's timeline. Oh, this is what this is what our videographer needs." And the list goes on and now there has to be all this back and forth, because everything isn't happening all in one place. And yes, we all bring it together nicely for them in the end, but wouldn't it be so much easier and so much more convenient if you can just have everything managed all in one place?
Right. Having it all in one place, you don't have to worry about explaining your vision. Even the couple doesn't have to worry about explaining their vision 10 different times to 10 different vendors. It's just a one streamline of communication.
Exactly.
And then us behind the scenes with our standards, our training, our workshop, it all ties together so that the couple really can just put their confidence in us. And then we can go out and just perform and do a great job with each other.
Yeah, 100%. Because in the end, like, we just want this to be easy for the couple.
Yeah.
Right? We want them to hire us because they trust us and we've got this and they don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah. There's no disconnect. There's no missed moments. And there definitely is a huge benefit to working with one team, one vision in mind.
Yeah.
And then the couple gets to be present on their wedding day instead of having to micromanage things, instead of having to worry or check in with each individual vendor. There's just this confidence in knowing that their photo, video, and DJ team can communicate, can get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've been in situations before where, in the middle of the event, put yourself in the couple's shoes, right? Like, let's say you hire all outside vendors and, you're worried about getting like group family shots on the dance floor or whatever it may be. Like, I've been in situations before where, in the middle of the reception, the couple's like coming up to me and like, "Oh, Chris, did you know that, we want to get this group shot?" Or, "Oh, did you know that my photographer needs X, Y, and Z?" And yes, I did know that because I did communicate with the photographer prior, because that's part of what we do. But, just knowing, it probably puts a couple at ease knowing that I've communicated all of that information to one team and that information is going to be divvied up amongst that one team and they're all going to be on the same page. So it's less for the couple to be worried about like at the reception and less micromanaging from the couple. This way they can be present in their wedding day and they can just sit back, relax, enjoy the day rather than worry about making sure that everything is taken care of, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think that I would only hope for this for all of our wedding couples, for them to be able to sit back and be fully present and not have to micromanage at least the vendors that we're in charge of.
Yeah, 100%.
So in conclusion, it comes down to the standard that we hold. We don't offer services unless we can stand behind them. Every part of the experience matters to us, and every team member represents the Limelight brand. We're always raising the bar, and this whole thing only works if every piece of it is strong. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it. At the end of the day, this isn't about being a one-stop shop. It's about building a team that actually works together, who holds the same standards and cares about your experience from start to finish. That's what one team, one vision really means to us. So if you're planning a wedding and you want a team that's aligned, experienced, focused, on making your day feel effortless. You can learn more about how we approach everything at limelightwedding.com. And if you haven't listened to the previous episode yet, go back and check out episode 4. It sets the foundation for everything we talked about today. And remember, wherever you are and whatever you are planning, we love that for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If this episode was helpful, make sure you follow or subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. We love hearing from you, so if you have a question, a planning struggle, or an episode idea, email me at jackie@limelightentertainmentnj.com. There's a really good chance your question becomes a future episode. And if you're planning a New Jersey wedding and want vendors who truly care, you can find us at limelightwedding.com. And remember, wherever you're planning and whatever you're dreaming, we love that for you.